I feel like you definitely need to depend on Jesus to drive.
Depend on Jesus to drive in Ghana.
Yeah. This country is very beautiful and there's so much welcoming here. There's so much, like I said, beautiful, rich culture here.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Welcome back again to Truth and Tensions. Like I always tell you over here, I always speak the truth and I bring the tension out of my discussion. And before I introduce my guest for today, today's video is actually brought to you by Primark. Primark is actually a jersey going to be using for the World Cup 2026 in the US of A, Canada, and Mexico. And Primark is actually located in Ohio in the US of A. But the good news is that if you are in Ghana and you want a Primark wear, you still can contact Charles on all social media. That is Primark_wear on Facebook, Primark_wear on Instagram, and also Zilla Auto Engineering and Service Limited. So Zilla is also located in Atlanta, Georgia. And hey, if you want any used cars from US, if you want any brand new cars from US, contact Zilla Auto Engineering Limited and Logistics Services. And also, if you want anything for Christmas, like rice, like drinks, like oil, everything for Christmas for the household, just feel free and contact Zilla Auto Engineering and Logistics Service Limited on all social media platforms. And hey, today, guess what? I have a very, very, very special guest. All the way from Milwaukee, US of A, Mrs. Kylie Kobna. Welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm excited to be here.
Miss Kylie is also a YouTuber. And I think, let me give you the opportunity to say something about your channel to the audience so they also follow you.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube and Spotify, and my podcast show is the Kairos Chronicles of Kylie podcast. Kairos is Kairos, I think. So we talk about a bunch of stuff within the Christian faith, just basically having the Kairos moments that we have with God. So Kairos means opportune time for something versus the chronological time. And yeah, I think we're missing a lot of the Kairos moments that God has in our lives. And so that's what we talk about there. Different things like relationships, addiction, all kinds of topics we cover there.
All right, so guys, don't forget to follow her channel. She just said it. It's on the screen. Just pick it up. Follow, subscribe, share to your friends. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook and TikTok. That is Culture Compass. Thank you. So, Kylie, welcome to Ghana. I know you're basically here for vacation. Yeah, I know. So, how is Ghana treating you so far?
It's been amazing. People have been so kind. I felt so special. Everybody's been so amazing. I got to meet more of my husband's family, which is obviously my family now. So yeah, it's been exciting. And it's not as hot. I was warned it was going to be hot, and it hasn't been that hot. So that's been surprising.
Wow. So talking about you meeting your husband's family, I think, how did you meet your husband, Kofi?
Well, we met on a dating app thing. I would say it was one of the more reputable ones, but I'm not here to throw plugs in for dating apps. But it was one where the woman had to reach out to the man first. And it was cool because I had this, I forgot what the word is, a prompt. So he was actually able to respond to me first. And he was the only person I ended up talking to on there. And we met right away. And yeah, from there, things started to develop pretty quickly. And yeah.
So meeting him on the app, what made you feel like, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for?
Well, on the app, I didn't have that instantly, this is my husband feeling, or no. I knew he was a good looking man and stuff, but I also knew that I could probably talk myself out of things easily. So I was like, okay, he seems pretty normal from the few conversations we've had. I'll meet him. And then when I met him, I felt just kind of a peace and I felt safe and everything was really easy to talk to him, easy conversations. And he was saying a lot of the right things. And a lot of the questions I was tired of asking in dating, he was asking me. So that was really refreshing and exciting.
Okay, so now you've met him on the app.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are talking.
Mm-hmm.
You started something small, like I would say dating. You started some relationship.
Yeah.
So we crossed from that part, and now you are dating. Can you remember some few culture shocks that came up in that relationship? I mean, when you first started dating, some cultural differences that.
Well, one difference was it ended up being a difference but a similarity. So I had said that I wasn't going to sleep with somebody before I was married or live with somebody before I'm married or even have sleepovers and stuff. And it was shocking to him because he had been living in the US and his lifestyle had, maybe been more aligned with that. And he wasn't hearing people bring that up regularly. But then he said more traditionally in his culture, some of those things were more normal. So it was a difference, but it ended up being a similarity, if that makes sense. I was more countercultural in the US, and he was now more countercultural for Ghana.
Okay.
And it came together, and if that made any sense.
Okay. All right. That's good. So what has been the most beautiful part of being married to someone from a different continent? Not even country, like a whole different continent.
A whole different continent. Yeah. I think there's a lot of beautiful things of it. There's beautiful differences in culture stuff. I think it also shows people, no matter what, like we're all humans and we're all created in the image of God, and you can look past the differences. There doesn't have to be like I can only be with my race or my culture. Yeah. And that's not to say those relationships are just as beautiful, but some people end up with somebody from a different culture and it's able to bring out both cultures coming together and merging.
Okay, so now that you guys are living together, I mean, you guys are now a married couple. Mm-hmm. So do you remember any funny thing that came up, like a cultural thing that you saw whilst you were together and you were like, man, this is very funny. Like, did you get to meet anything like that?
See, I can't think of any specific things. I think there was just some big differences with food in general. Okay. I wasn't used to eating with my hands, and there's a lot of foods that you would eat with your hands, but I was open to it. And yeah, so I would say it's been more little things, nothing super big and shocking, I guess.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay. So, in marriage, they always say we should try as much as possible to adjust to each other. Mm-hmm. Let's try as much as possible to tolerate each other's setback. How have you been adjusting?
Like coming together, living in each other's space, now being with I think something that was huge for both of us, which we both preach to other people, is we went through premarital counseling at our church, Invisible Reality Ministries, and that was such a blessing because we were both putting out as much as we could on the table, as much as we could think of, but going through Christian counseling at our church helped us bring up more things that would maybe be red flags or things you don't want to talk about, but things that you're going to find out when you end up married and living together. So let's put everything out on the table, the good and the bad, and try to figure out, okay, why do we do some of the things we do, so that when we're in those moments, we have more tools to be able to handle when the conflict comes or when an argument might happen or you disagree on something. Those things are all bound to happen, but it was really having the tools ahead of time that's been helping us, get to know each other more as we go. Okay,
so now let's go down to family. How do you feel being part of a Ghanaian family? How do you feel?
I feel honored. I think there's so much beauty in Ghanaian culture and just the family that I've been able to be blessed into. I feel so blessed with the family I got in general, and I don't even know if I have words for it. I just feel like every single person I've met, I felt so loved. I
Okay.
felt so accepted. I felt, yeah, no judgment, anything like that. And
Okay.
yeah.
Has there been any instances that you've come across any of these surprising traditions in Ghana?
Traditions, I think it's been cool. His dad, now my dad, told me about some of the things when he was in the US. And one of the things that kind of surprised me was that other people would call me their wife, or I'd be like the wife to multiple people, but not really,
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
their
like I
wife.
told you, you're
Yeah.
my junior wife.
Yeah, yeah. So that as a wife of somebody, now the brothers, right? The brothers will call you their wife too.
Exactly.
And obviously more than just brothers. But then also how a lot of, just different family things like that. So it was good to have the warning before some new relative I met was like, oh, here's my wife. And to know this is just part of the culture. And yeah, now I think it's cool.
Yeah, so talking about that, I think every family has its own ways of doing things, right? I know families back home in the US have their own ways of doing things. And do you see any differences in what their family have been doing? Do you see any compared to the ones in the US? I mean, compared to your family back home in the US, do you think there is any difference in ways of doing things or ways of handling things?
So I don't want to say, I guess it's not that different back home with every family. There are a lot of families who would want to serve you when you come to their home and stuff like that. But I think I've just been amazed at how generous, how much people have been, I don't know, just taking care of me as their own, or even like the whole husband-wife thing. I feel like that's something you see where a husband's going to really look after, your in-laws going to look after you just like their wife.
Yeah.
And so that's something I'd say is a little bit different than back home. Obviously, everybody in your family still cares about each other. But what I've seen is, okay, maybe my husband's not in the room at the moment. Somebody else is going to step in and act like a husband in that moment to give me the support I need or something. And vice versa with women, wives to the other husbands too. It's not polygamy. So I just need to make that clear for anybody who's in the US. It's not having actual multiple husbands or wives.
Yeah, I mean, it's our way of doing things. I mean, to show some love to
Treating
our brothers'
them.
wives and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So let's go down to faith and religion a bit. Kylie, you're a reverend minister, right? You're a reverend minister.
Yeah, I was ordained. Yeah. At my
Okay,
church.
so as a reverend minister and as a Christian, how has that actually helped your marriage? How has it actually shaped the whole marriage?
Well, I think if I didn't have Jesus, I probably wouldn't have gotten into such an amazing marriage in the first place. I don't think I would have waited the way I waited. I don't think I would have ended up with something as beautiful as this and as awesome as my husband. But I think shaping in general, knowing that a wife is supposed to submit to her husband as he submits to Jesus, shapes the way I look at things too. Like if sometimes there might be a moment where I inside honestly don't want to do something, and then there's this reality of, okay, he's your husband, you're supposed to want to care for him and serve him in ways. And so I think it's the conviction you get from the Holy Spirit to also help you carry things out that your flesh might not want to do all the time, but it is about serving each other. And that's not to say your husband still serves in ways too. It's just when it comes to the structure of the family, the husband's the head, and then comes the wife and the kids.
Okay, you've been here for some few days, but I still need to ask this question. So, in the US, they have ways and they have ways of worshiping, or we have ways to express our faith. Now that you are in Ghana, and I know, like I said, you've been here for some few days, but I think you still have noticed some few things. Do you think there's any difference in how we express our faith compared to the one in the US?
I guess it would depend on different cultures or groups within the US, because I'd say, I don't know, if you're looking at some certain denominations, they might be more reserved in the US. And there's some denominations or groups of people that might be more expressive in their worship and praise, like the church we go to. But I would say that people are more openly Christian here, or you see something about God on a lot of people's businesses, a lot of people's cars.
Okay.
So you see a lot more Christian stuff like that. And then I've just met so many people who are Christians to
Okay.
more openly Christian.
So what is your idea about today's religion? I mean, the idea of today's world's religion. Do you think it has, do you think it's helping?
I mean, I think it's more than just religion. It might sound cliche, but it's about your relationship with Jesus, ultimately being the only way to have a relationship with the one true God. And so that's where I think it doesn't fall, it's not something to be offensive to somebody else, but it doesn't fall in the same categories according to our faith as other religions. So I guess I don't look at it too much as like religion the same way other people look at all the world religions, because I believe it's the only way.
We've talked about culture, we've talked about marriage, we've talked about faith. Let's go down deep to the reason why you are in Ghana, your vacation. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I definitely am. It's been awesome.
So this is your first time in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember I was asking you something before we started this whole production thing. I was asking you, if not for the fact that you married to a Ghanaian, would Ghana be an ideal place for you to visit?
I never would have thought of coming to Ghana. Like, I knew it was a country, but I never thought about going to Ghana. So I probably never would have come here.
Oh, so you knew about Ghana?
I knew about it.
So you knew about Ghana as being a country in a particular continent?
No, I mean, I knew Ghana was a country, but if you would have asked me to name a bunch of countries from Africa, it probably wouldn't have been the first thing that comes to my mind.
So how many African countries do you know?
Okay, no, I knew you would do this to me. I know more than I used to, but I would say I think it's part of our U.S. system, and that I don't think we've had a lot of education on different countries in Africa. So I really didn't learn a lot about a lot of different countries growing up.
I mean, back there, you were telling me something about an agenda of this Western world trying to put out pictures of poverty about Africa. Like they were just trying to come up with an agenda that this is how actually African looks like. You've seen a lot of pictures like that, where you see people not having food to eat, water to drink, even no electricity, like a whole poverty thing.
Yeah.
Now that you've been to Ghana, do you say whatever that you guys were taught back home in the US, or those pictures that you saw back in the US, is exactly what you're seeing in Ghana?
No, I wouldn't say it's exactly what I've seen. I mean, since I've been here, I've seen different levels of things when it comes to economic status stuff, but I wouldn't say that that's at all the whole of things, and that's not everybody's lifestyle at all either. Like, I think a lot of people in the US would be shocked to know how much access you do have to certain things, or things that we're not thinking about, because like I said earlier, a lot of the images we've seen on TV have either been like a commercial asking for donations for kids who are starving, and that's the only image you're seeing, or on the world news stuff you're seeing maybe like some conflict going on in a certain country. And so you're only seeing the negative stuff, where I think people need to see more of the positive things, because the positive things are obviously here. Like, that's, I think, what people...
Okay, so the plane landed. You got your bags, your stuff from the airport. Then you came out from the airport. Then, welcome to the motherland. You are now in Accra. How is the feeling like to be in Ghana? First time.
The feeling was exciting. It was surreal, honestly. I didn't really know how to feel. Like, I never expected to end up in Ghana. So it's just been kind of an unreal blessing that I've been going through to be able to experience this.
So now you're now in the motherland. Okay, so the last time we met, you were telling me something about the foods that you've actually tried here in Ghana. What is your favorite Ghanaian dish?
My favorite is spinach stew. That's one of them. What's it called again?
Kontomire. Say it.
Kontomire.
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 Good one.
And then...
What did you try with? Just the spinach?
Oh, rice I've had it with.
Okay,
or,
rice.
Yams.
Okay, yam. Okay,
I
bayere. That's bayere.
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 And then, well, we call it peanut soup or peanut butter soup,
Yeah.
but the groundnut
The
soup.
Ghana soup, yeah. We call it nkatinkwan.
Say it again. I know.
Nkatinkwan.
Nkatinkwan.
Yeah, that's it. You
I know
know.
nkate boga or
Nkatia boga. Oh, that's the
boga,
peanuts.
That's a little, yeah.
Yeah, that's the peanuts.
Yeah, I
you're
tried
doing
that.
good.
But yeah, that with fufu
Okay.
is amazing, and the fufu here is the real fufu, and this is the first time I actually got to eat it.
Okay, so you've eaten fufu back in US,
Yeah,
and you've eaten fufu here in Ghana,
yeah,
and you think the fufu here in Ghana is better
automatically because it's real, and the stuff we're eating back in the US is like a powder in a box, so it's not as good. No offense to the makers of it. I know it's needed and necessary because we can still eat fufu then easier, but the fufu here, so real, so amazing. I've had it twice already, and my husband would always talk about falling asleep, where he actually falls asleep after he eats
after eating
fufu,
that food.
yeah.
I mean, that's very heavy, you know.
Yeah, but I'm usually able to fight any tiredness, but here when I ate the real fufu, it makes you so tired. Like you have to take a nap.
Did you ever witness the preparation of that fufu?
Yeah, I got to see it twice now here.
You tried it?
I didn't try it.
You didn't try to
No,
pound it?
because couldn't I accidentally hit somebody's hand if I tried it? I don't want to do that.
I know insurance for that.
I don't want to be the reason.
There's no insurance for that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you are in the motherland, you are in Ghana. Do you want us to go to the culture shocks?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. What are some of the culture shocks that you've seen in Ghana?
Okay, the big one that I would say
The big one. Okay, let's go.
is driving. How different driving is here than the US. And so I thought it was funny that you just talked about driving.
So viewers, you see, so if I'm hitting on driving as a cultural shock when I went to the US, she's saying it. I'm not lying. She said the biggest of all her cultural shocks has to do with driving. So let's hear what she has to say about driving.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely need to depend on Jesus to drive.
Depend on Jesus to drive in Ghana.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, no, it's not in
goodness.
a bad way or an offensive way.
I know.
But it's survival of the fittest on the road kind of thing. Like you have to be. I wouldn't be able to drive here. People would call me more of a grandma driver back home, and so I like to go slower. I'm not somebody who likes to take risks.
Okay.
So here, you have to be able to take risks in order to get on the road. Otherwise, you will sit on the side because you're just not going to make it. But people are nice. Sometimes they'll let you in even though you're just cutting into traffic. And another shocker with all of this is the horn system. We barely use our horns.
The horn system.
We barely use our horns back home, and I really barely use it. But it's usually only for like a negative situation, like "What are you doing? Get out of my way!" kind of thing. Here, you have multiple languages within the horn, like "Thank you" or "Go" or there's multiple things you're saying with the horn, and a lot of them are nice things with the horn, which surprised me. And you guys are super fast with hitting the horn. My reflexes wouldn't be fast enough to tell somebody something with my horn.
Can you see? I was in the US for 4 months. I never ever heard any car honking. And there was a time I went to the washing bay. I said this in my previous video. I went to the washing bay and I said, man, for 4 months, I don't even know whether the car that I'm driving, the horn actually works. So I said, I just told myself, you know what, let me try to hear the sound of the horn if it actually works.
Yeah.
And at the washing bay, I hit on it. Everyone around there was just watching me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were just asking,
what is he honking at?
yeah, what is he doing?
Who did something? Like, who is the
But
problem?
over here, man, like you said, it's a way of communicating. We
Yeah.
communicate with the horns just to give ways. Maybe you're obstructing the road. Maybe we just have to apply the horn.
Yeah.
That's part of our culture in Ghana.
Yeah. I think that's amazed me is the chemistry and flow of people physically out walking and cars. Like how many times it feels like it's the chemistry of the whole road.
Okay.
the cars not hitting each other last minute, and then also not hitting the person, but the person knowing to move at the exact moment they need to move. It amazes me because I would have probably gotten my foot run over in some of the situations where people, and even kids too, I see kids, like, they know how to maneuver and just move the perfect second. Yeah. Even also, I saw it with goats and dogs. Like, I think somebody's about to hit the chicken or something, and the chicken or the animal moves perfectly. And it's just, it's been shocking to me. I
think the chickens and the goats are all part of, they are now Ghanaian, so
basically,
So they have the whole Ghanaian idea.
They have your animals, so I think smarter with cars
when you take them over there to the state, I think they're also going to have some culture shocks. I'm telling you,
Probably.
If you take a dog from here to the States, it's going to have a culture shock. Trust me. Okay, so you've been in Ghana for quite some time now. Have you tried visiting the Cape Coast Castle? Have you been to the Cape Coast Castle?
Yeah, well, we went to Elmina Castle.
You went to the Elmina Castle?
Yeah.
And you heard the stories?
Yeah.
How was the feeling?
Very disturbing, disgusting, sad, which we all know in America, the history that was brought to the country and part of how it was founded. So it was even more impactful to come here to see where people were sold, and just being in some of the spaces they were in.
Yeah.
I felt claustrophobic knowing I'm able to leave this space when I want to leave it, and just thinking about people's lives. And somebody made a good point too. When somebody's brought into like a prison, they're usually told why they're brought there and given some context of something. But the people who are brought into these places to be sold as slaves, there's no context. There's no context for time. You don't know what just happened to you, being taken, kidnapped, whatever. And you're just stuck in these spaces, in these rooms with, it's extremely disturbing, but it's needed for people to see like how things were done.
So you took some pictures of the places, right?
Yeah,
You're going to show your guys back home about it.
Yeah.
That's very sad, I know.
Yeah.
So now that you're in Ghana, do you have any plan? Do you have any agenda? Do you have anything, do you have any idea of wanting to do something back home in Ghana? Because I'm asking this because I know you're an American, you're not from here, but your husband definitely is from Ghana and from this part of Ghana, I mean the Western region, Takoradi. So do you have any plans of setting up some NGOs, some philanthropic work, like any kind of thing? Do you have any idea of that?
I think, I know my husband has given different philanthropic things. I know he's done stuff in the past with that and being able to bring different supplies to a village. I think it was maybe school supplies and other things too.
Okay.
So I know he's done that. But I know it would be amazing to be able to bring more stuff in the future, and I've heard some talks about things that are maybe getting set up.
So do you have any plan of coming back to Ghana?
100%.
100%. Maybe one day you're even gonna leave your husband back in the state and just take the flight and come straight to Ghana.
Yeah, I'll just come stay with the no.
You have that in mind?
He's always gonna come with though. I can't leave him as I'm coming back here. No.
So in general, how do you see Ghana?
I see it as a beautiful country with beautiful people who are very accepting and loving. And it's just it's rich in a lot of different ways, beauty wise and culturally, all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to bring up something with race stuff. Okay. If that's okay.
It's okay.
If you're gonna go there. But being here as a white person or an obroni.
I was about to ask that question. If you've ever heard of that word, obroni.
Yeah, I knew. That was like one of the first words I learned. But so being here, a lot of the times I've been, the minority. You don't see a lot of white people. I've maybe seen 3 white people since I've been here in a bunch of different places that I've been. But I haven't felt hate. I haven't felt judged. I haven't felt like I don't belong here in ways that, honestly, as a Black person in some of the far out country places of the U.S. where it is majority white and you might be one of few or only Black person, would not feel welcome. And that's the sad truth about a lot of places. It's not to say everybody's racist who's white. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there are a lot of places that unfortunately a Black person goes into and they're stared at in a negative way. Like, what are you doing here? And I have felt the complete opposite here.
Okay.
Like, even if I've gotten stared at by little kids, it's like, it's been like a nice stare. Like, I don't know who you are or what you're doing here, but it's not like a, what are you doing here? It's, yeah, everything's been kind and that sense.
That will make me ask you this question. I didn't want to ask it, but I'm going to ask it.
Uh-oh.
It's all nice here, right? Like you just rightly said, it's all nice here. I think some couple of months ago, there was an article that came up and it was like, Ghana is not a safe place to visit.
Mm-hmm.
The US issued something like that Ghana is not a safe place to visit. Now you are in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say about that? Is Ghana a safe place to visit or Ghana is not a safe place to visit?
I would say it's a safe place to visit, but I think it's like anywhere, like to know your surroundings, like my hometown or Milwaukee and stuff, there's crimes that happen everywhere. And
Okay.
so I think knowing areas you're going into, being aware of your surroundings in certain areas is always going to be relevant. And then maybe doing research ahead of time so that you don't end up somewhere randomly like that you don't know anything about. So I'd say it is a safe place. And I also have researched things ahead of time that it's one of the safer African countries too. So I guess, yeah, I wouldn't agree with, I don't know where they pulled that from, but I think, like I said, back in the US, we have places that are unsafe and you have good and bad people everywhere. So I think that's what people need to realize is just like when it comes to race stuff, just like when it comes to a country, a city, there's good and bad people everywhere, but sometimes certain media is going to focus on just the bad. So that's the only stuff you're getting fed. But you might have to do some more research to look into things like,
Okay. So have you learned some few Ghanaian words? Your husband haven't taught you any few?
No, he has. You could, I wish he was here so he could like quiz me on some of the words I do know. We have a list of words that I've learned, but you want to just spit out random words I know?
Yeah, I just want to know if you have any of them in mind.
Yeah. Okay. So sometimes the way I say the words, I know it's going to be wrong. And sometimes he'll literally tell me the word over and over and I'm trying to say it, but something about my mouth or brain isn't doing it right. So please don't come at me. But come here. Is that braha?
Yeah.
Okay. What else do I know? Meware. I'm married. This one nobody can understand me.
No, what are you trying to say?
I'm married. Meware.
Okay.
Meware.
You know, we have two.
Oh no.
We have the Tree language and we have the Fante language.
I only know anything.
So I think what you're trying to say right now, you're trying to speak the Tree one.
Yeah.
Mawari.
Yeah.
That's the Tree language. But in the Fante language is Mawar.
Oh, see, it's so similar.
Yeah, that one is Mawar.
I don't know anything in that language.
And what other ways can you say?
Medowo pa.
Oh,
I
man.
love you very much.
I think he's been saying that to you most often.
Yeah,
I know.
I know that one. What else? See, well, I know Akwaba is welcome. Medasi, thank you.
You know about Obake?
No.
But you know about Akwaba?
Yeah.
Akwaba is welcome.
Uh-huh.
You don't know about Obake? Oh, okay.
Should I? What is it?
That's another language. The Gan language also means welcome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't
Yeah.
learned anything in that language. We're focusing on one language right now. Otherwise, I'm going to get even more lost. Yeah, if only I could remember some of the random words to impress people, but
okay. So which one do you want to learn now? So I can actually teach you now. Which other word do you want to know in our Ghanaian language?
I'm thirsty.
You're thirsty. Okay. Hey, that would be long for you. I don't know if you can actually.
See, I don't know.
That would be long for you.
One of my sisters has been trying to teach me water, and I can't. Insua.
Insuo is water, or insu is water. So if you are thirsty, then you have to say like insucomidem.
Insucomidem.
That's it. Great one, man. That's great. Insucomidem. Wait, that is.
I'm eating, or I've eaten.
You've eaten, yeah.
See that's so mididi.
I'm
Me
eating.
Didi.
Me didi is I'm eating, and
Yeah.
me didi is you have eaten.
Oh, one thing that totally throws me off. My name, it's like, I don't know, I know, and my face. Or
Okay.
my name.
Okay, menim
My name.
is your face, and you know minim is you
Minim.
know. Oh, okay. Minim.
My name.
Minim.
See,
And yeah.
like I'm struggling over here. I thought there was one word I would learn, and then
One word, but it has so many expressions.
yeah, and I can't tell which version I'm saying when I'm saying it. So I might
okay.
not ever say I don't know or I know or my face.
Okay, that's beautiful. So, do you have any places in Ghana you want to visit? I mean, I know you visited a few places.
Yeah.
You visited a few cultural places, but
Yeah.
do you still have places you would want to visit before you go back to the States?
Well, I feel like we've done a lot already. We started in Accra.
Accra, yeah.
Am I saying it
Yeah,
right or
Accra,
wrong?
that's the right word. Accra, yeah. That's the capital city.
And then we went to Cape Coast,
Okay.
which was awesome. And then, yeah, Takoradi.
Yeah, you're currently in Takoradi. And have you been to
Takoradi.
Nzulezu?
No,
The
what's
water,
that?
the city on still. How is it called? The city on still, right?
City on water.
City on water, yeah. Like it's a
No.
whole. I mean,
No.
a whole town, but it's on water.
It's a totally different town.
Yeah, it's on water.
I have not been there.
Like there's no road, there's nothing, it's just water, canoes.
I watched a video on that.
Yes, but you're not been to that place.
No, I haven't.
Man, that's where your wife, your husband is from. That place, he needs to take you there. You need to see that place before you go back to the States. Trust me, you need to go there. It's a very nice place, and you're gonna enjoy it. Trust me. I think we have one. I think the whole world. If I stand to be corrected, but I know we have one in Italy that is Venice or so. It's in Venice. There a whole city on water like that in Italy. But I don't know about any part of the world again. I think so. I would say Ghana is the second. Yeah. So going back home to the States, would you say Ghana has actually made you feel so happy?
Yeah, I feel like it's changed perspective in a lot of ways. I think, well, in the U.S., we have access to a lot more, like, at our fingertips.
Yeah.
And can easily get things in
Yeah.
different ways that aren't as easy to do here. And so I think what I've realized is even if you're super rich or something, you'd still have to use the same road to get to the same hospital as somebody who might not have money.
Yeah.
And so there's some things that I feel like it seems like people have to work harder for and probably builds more character and better work ethic, I would think, than back home, where I feel like a lot of us have had so much handed to us that you take things for granted. And so I think being here, seeing how much work people put into, I mean, even making fufu, like little things, big things that back home, it's like, okay, I'd rather not do that. I'm just going to go microwave this instead. And like I said, not everything I'm saying is for every single person in the US, but I think especially my generation down, we're kind of a microwave generation. So we've had things so easy. So I think this has definitely been eye-opening in a lot of different ways and beautiful to see.
So is Ghana an ideal retirement home for you one day?
I feel like it could be. I think it would depend on where we live. I don't think I could be in like the big city feel. I think maybe a city like this could be more ideal, or even where
let's say a city like Takoradi. Just say so that they know. Say Takoradi, a city like Takoradi. Yeah, that's where you can. That's where you enjoy. You would want to have a retirement stuff here. Okay.
Yeah, I think still being around more stuff happening.
Okay. But
I have noticed even in some places further out, there still feels like there's stuff happening when you have a market going on or stuff. I don't know. I guess it would depend on where. Yeah. Or anybody who would say, I don't ever want to go to Ghana because I have this view of it or whatever. I would say open your mind, and this country is very beautiful, and I think you have to experience other parts of the world if you have the opportunity to. Obviously not everybody's going to have the opportunity to, but there's so much welcoming here. There's so much, like I said, beautiful, rich culture here that I think people would appreciate if they got here, made it here, and it's like, wow, I regret having whatever views I had on viewing all of Africa as one place, a country, to see how rich it is here in so many ways.
So viewers, this was Kylie Kobner, all the way from Milwaukee, to have a whole vacation in Ghana. So guys, Kylie, nice to meet you.
Thank you for
I think it's the
having me.
second time I'm meeting you. The first time was in the US and the second time in Ghana.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you, Kylie.
Nice. Thank you
And
for
I
having
think
me.
the next time I'm in the US, I'm gonna come on your show. Yeah,
Well,
trust me, I'm
we'll
gonna
be
come
on
on
my
your show.
podcast.
Yeah. So guys, like I always tell you, don't forget to subscribe to our channels on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Culture Compass. We out.